I used to curse worse than a sailor. Now, I know this video might not be received the best, but honey, I'm about to offend some people, and it just is what it is. Forgive me in advance. It is coming from experience and a place of love. We're going to talk about cursing, why I stopped cursing, and why you should stop cursing too. The spiritual reason why you should stop cursing. We're going to get into it. But first, hey friend, welcome to my channel, Karina Allude Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. Let's start first with the obvious, shall we? So, cursing. Some people call it swearing. And I just want to state the obvious. It's in the name. It's in the name. It's in the name. No matter what you call it, it's in the name. Cursing. Just think about it. Cursing. The Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue. And even if you're not Christian, you don't adhere to the Bible, etc., that's fine. Now I'll tell you with my own experience as a Haitian with cursing. It's not something in the remote part of Haiti where I was from in Lagonab that people just indulge in cursing. I would get hit so badly if I would just utter a curse word, right? I couldn't just recklessly speak whatever I wanted. The reason for that was because we understood the power of what we were speaking. And you'll say, Green, how is it cursing? Curse is profanity. It's profanity. And when you curse someone, you basically speak something over their life. In even the term of the secret, manifestation, affirmation, all this new age terminology, etc., where it's the same concept. You believe that you can speak things into the universe or speak things into life. Where I say to me, the universe is God. God is everything, omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, right? But for those, even if you're not Christian, you're speaking things into the atmosphere, right? So when you call someone a female dog, I mean, in the literal sense in Haiti, people would quote unquote transform into dogs or cats or animals, whatever. But in the literal sense, you're calling someone something filthy. It's something filthy. You're attaching it to that person's name. And psychology will tell you, modern day psychology will tell you that if you keep calling your child, and even in Haiti, we knew that. They said if you keep calling your child désordre, or meaning bad, you keep calling the child bad, even playfully. Oh, he gonna be bad. Oh, he gonna be da-da-da-da. You keep saying it even as a joke, as a joke, as a joke. Remember, the body don't know the difference between joking or not. The child literally grows up to be that. Or if you're a parent that keeps calling your child, oh, you're going to be a thief. Nothing's good going to happen to you. You keep speaking down to them. You're cursing them. That's you cursing them, cursing them, cursing them. And when you do that, it's profane. You're not supposed to do that to people, period, right? And when you label someone the B word, when you label someone a HOE, and even if it's casually you're talking and you're saying F-bombs, mother effer, and all of these things, not only is it profane, but you're out of your heart. What is in your heart comes out through your mouth, right? And some people, I always say, spiritually, if you're spiritually connected and you pray to God all the time, right? Or whatever you believe in, maybe you're an atheist, then this doesn't apply to you. But if you're not and you're spiritually connected to this, I would hope that if you're going to worship any God, it would be someone that is benevolent with good morals, good character, and the God that you serve would not participate in vulgarity or profanity. You know, they have to have some form of holiness to them. But if you say you're close to God, could you speak that way in front of God if you claim he is around you all the time? Could you speak that way? And I find people that get offended when you be like, hey, you should stop cursing. Every word shouldn't be a profanity out of your mouth, especially around children, especially around those who, because people really curse around children, huge profanity. They don't care. They don't care about their image to be seen. You never know who's watching you. I'm going to give another experience on that. But I find the ones that get insulted, that feels away, that gets angry when you talk about the cursing, or that feels slighted, there's a spiritual thing attached to you. That ain't God. The Spirit of God will not move you to be offended by something like that. Because if God is holy, he said, be ye holy as I am holy. If your body is a temple and I dwell in you, the profanity, what comes out of your heart, what is in your heart comes out of your mouth, then that means this cursing, vulgarity, and profanity is what's in your heart. That is the truth that we don't want to accept. And if it's coming out of your mouth, that is what's in your heart. And we judge the tree by the fruit it bears. And if you are a child of God or you have such spiritual enlightenment, why can you not formulate a better and more pleasing way to articulate yourself or express yourself than that? Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is peace, there is calm, there is joy, there is pleasure. That is biblical verse. And profanity has no room in it. But why do we even curse? A lot of people say it's fun to curse. Swearing words. We shall not swear. You should not swear. Swearing is not something that should just be done lightly. Back then, it used to be a big deal, regardless if you were a believer of God or not. Back then, they call it oaths. It's like you're swearing to each other. They cut themselves. I swear, with blood and blood touching each other. I swear by you and all these witnesses that blah, blah, blah. It was something so serious. You did not do it in vain just like that, even in the occult world. But now we live in a society where people just be like, for fun, for giggles, like, I swear to God, like just like that, like, oh my goodness, just all over the place with it. And then they'll throw in some, the most vulgar of it is when someone say, for Christ's sake, for like they say, they put God and a curse word together. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. They'll put God and a curse word together and they don't see how that is demonic. That is demonic. And in reality, the other reason why I stopped is I noticed when people would be spirit possessed in Haiti by a demonic force and it would be manifesting in public, that force would call them to curse a lot, a whole bunch of profanity, like obscene things, right? And I noticed it would become like their voice changes. It sounds like an animal, a shrieking animal. Eyes get inverted, like they lose it, right? Whenever they're worshiping whatever deity they're worshiping while they're possessed and it's demonic, they hurt themselves, scratch themselves, bleed, and do all of that, do filthy things, go bathe in mud and pig mud, just filthy. And they'd be possessed, and the first things to come out of their mouth is cursing and profanity, hate and anger. And I realized, wow. But when they're back to themselves, the profanity is gone. So then I was like, that's demonic. That's demonic. Because when the Spirit of the Lord is in you, when you feel His Spirit and you're connected to Him, you don't think about cursing. You notice cursing becomes easier when you're filled with rage or anger. Anything could come out. But when you're calm and you're peaceful, you're less hesitant to come at somebody that aggressive, right? So there are spirits attached to it. And then also, I feel like when you curse, it's an expression. It's like you're saying, I don't have enough words in my arsenal to express myself, to articulate myself. So I resort to dropping F-bombs or this in every word. It used to be a time where you could listen to comedians without every other word being a curse word. But now it's not funny to us. We find cursing entertainment. We find cursing entertainment to where comedy is not comedy if there's no curse words. The movie is not fun if there's no profanity, no sex scene, no immorality, nothing in it. It's no longer fun. We've become accustomed to it. And I remember there used to be a time where damn, excuse my language, used to be a literal like, oh my goodness, clutch your pearls. Now, anyone could say it freely. And the other reason why I stopped is because one time I was just talking in church. I used to curse worse than a sailor. It was something I worked years on trying to stop, but I was in church talking to my best friend, just babbling about blah, 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 blah. And then I said a curse word while, like, it was, after church, we're all standing, but I was still inside of the church just because it's already my daily vocabulary that it just came out. And right when I said it, the pastor was behind me. I was like, my goodness. I was embarrassed. But then the Lord spoke to me and was like, so in front of man, you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed to talk like that in front of a pastor. So you think a pastor is more worthy of respect than I am? So if I'm with you 24/7, you talk like this, you feel no shame because what? You can't see me? but the minute the pastor is behind you, don't talk like that. You feel ashamed if the president of the United States was in front of you right now. I'm not talking about Joe Biden, but any other president that you respect, or insert someone you respect. Your vulgarity of someone, if you're in a council meeting or whatever, is not going to be what comes out of your mouth. Even when you're in the workplace and you're at a meeting or conference, it's seen as, no one talks like that. You have to elevate your vocabulary, express yourself better. I found out that my cursing was so bad that I couldn't even control it around my elders and people. And I'd be like, oops, sorry. Like, that's embarrassing. It's like, girl, we see how you talk in private. Guys, I know it's difficult to stop. It's easier said than done to stop, right? But really, society has made it so popular to curse that you stand out when you don't. I notice that when I'm in circles where I just don't curse and everyone else around me is cursing, I stand out. And it's not even a better than. People do notice. They comment on it. There was a group of friends that I made that it was in my early journey of deciding I wasn't going to curse anymore. They're like, oh, we're going to get you to curse. You can't even say the F word. Say it, trying to mock me into saying it. And eventually they did corrupt me into saying it. No one can corrupt you without your permission. But I did eventually give in and started to talk like that again. And then after a while, it was like, girl. So I had to be like, I don't care how y'all talk. I'm not talking like this. No one can convince me to talk like this. It's just not right. It's just not, there's no justification for cursing. Like, if you feel like there's a justification for it, I want to read your comments. Why do you think it's justified to curse? Say it. I really want to know. What is the reason? Is it a coping mechanism? When people have Tourette's, or there's some other illnesses that they can't control, they just blurt out certain profanity. That's different, right? But in Haiti, it's crazy to me because in Haiti, they wouldn't even see that as a mental illness. We'd be like, oh, that's a possession. But we know that's, there's a difference. Because the possession, you can't really differentiate that with this, because you can differentiate that with this because they do stuff to be possessed. They do their rituals and stuff. But it's just not right. It doesn't feel good on the tongue anymore. The more you practice it, the more you heal also. And I find that people curse just like drinking. When you're a social drinker, you drink in parties and events, you feel like I have to get lit back. And it's not necessarily maybe because you don't like alcohol. You don't really want to drink, but everyone else around you is drinking, so you just go ahead and indulge. It's the same thing I find with alcohol. With cursing. If everyone around you is cursing, it just comes naturally to your influence. And a lot of people think being influenced is just for kids. Adults get influence. Grown people get influence every day. Every day. You have grown women that are following after other grown women online, or grown men that are influenced. Like, don't think that influence stops. I get influence. In my old age, I get influence. So that's why I'm very cautious with what I feed my mind, what I indulge in, how I speak, because I can be influenced. It happens. It sucks, but it happens. And I'm not trying to change anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad if they do it. And I know a lot of people won't necessarily like that, but I just want you guys to consider that aspect of it, that spiritual aspect of it. And even in terms of social media, like for YouTube, for instance, I noticed that the family-friendly channels grow a lot better. YouTube loves the algorithm. On my other channel, my documentary channel, I filter my words a lot to describe even like someone sleeping with you without your permission, if you catch my drift, or hitting you in a relationship. You have to say DV or grape, like turn it around, because YouTube don't even like those type of commentary, but they don't like curse words like that. They kind of suppress those channels. And there's a lot of creators that know that don't care. Like, they're so determined to be authentic that they're like, oh, I have to stop that to be authentic. I don't care. I'm going to still be like that. And it's like, dang, it's so ingrained in you to curse and speak profanity that the thought of changing for your own benefit and growth is not even a good enough incentive. That's insane to me. And I learned that. I learned that it hinders you in a workspace. It hinders you. You cannot go to corporate or work for someone else, or even if you have your own company one day and you have a lot of customers that are coming in, your customers are your clients in a sense. There's a way you're going to approach. You're not just going to come into the store if it's your boutique and everyone that walks in, hello, ma effa. You're not going to do that. You're not going to call them MFer. Hello, how did it out? You pleasant. You don't go into that. Because you know that person would walk right out. Right out like, oh, You bring yourself away until if that's the energy that's in you, you see, hey, this person's cursing back with you. I mean, like they're cursing too, they relax. Then you be yourself, you curse back with them. But initially, a person who has their head screwed on right is not going to lead or introduce themselves with profanity to anyone because they know how it makes them look. But until, spirit attracts spirit. So there's a little song that goes, the Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you. So easy, so easy, so easy to love. My voice. I know. Thank you. Standing ovation. But it goes the same. Spirit attracts spirit. A lot of people in Haiti, they call it Sopa Mashavem, but it's kind of like whatever spirit is in you doesn't mesh, our spirits don't align, right? So if someone has a vulgar spirit, they tend to attract other vulgar spirit. Their group of friends all match in their vulgarity and profanity. But if someone doesn't have that in them, they're not going to attract that. This is all I have to say for this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. And comment below, are you going to continue cursing? Are you offended? I really want to know what would be the justification for cursing. If you watch until the end, leave a cherry emoji in the comments for me. And then I'll see you in the next one.